Let's get into it. We got a bunch of quarterbacks who made their first start yesterday. All interesting. All had different styles of games. But let's start with the big one in Tampa Bay.
And we are going to spend a lot more time on this.
Yeah.
We'll deep dive it. So just 10 to 20 seconds on your first thoughts. Kind of tease what's coming later.
Yeah. Well, the first one we're going to go. Daniel Jones is the headline. The headline is, don't tell me talent doesn't matter, okay? Because what you saw yesterday was an offense open up. Why? Wait for it. Wait. Oh, the quarterback that was in was more talented. Oh, you mean arm strength does matter? Oh, yeah. Oh, all of a sudden there was plays all over the field, aggressive plays called that I don't feel that the Giants would call on a regular basis if it was Eli Manning. How about the talent to move a little bit and run, extend plays, scramble for 2 touchdowns or run for 2 touchdowns, or just the movement in the pocket and not being afraid of the rush,
right?
Or just having a feel, but not being afraid of it. And there's a difference there. And again, with Eli, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but Eli was I look down the field. It feels like the pocket's collapsing. Let me look at the pocket to make sure they're getting a little close to me. Let me check it down. Daniel Jones was, let me look downfield. Oh, that guy's not open. I'm not even still looking at the pocket and people are getting close to me, but I'm just going to kind of move around with my feel. Oh, and the hell with that check down. There's another guy open 20 yards down the field. I'm going to hit him. And that changed their team and the way they look. So when we talk about, he gives you more energy. When he came on, he felt more. No, it wasn't more energy. He's just a better player, okay? And then he made the team have more energy because there was more opportunities to make plays and look good.
The team definitely had more energy. Evan Ingram had more. He had a lot more bounce.
Definitely.
For sure.
Yes.
All kinds of things I want to follow up on there.
Yeah.
We'll get
to that in a minute.
Get to it in a deep dive. Okay. Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Solid. We both wanted to see more Taysom Hill than actually turned out.
Right.
But Teddy, not to the extent that Eli Manning, I'm sorry, that Daniel Jones did, but was better than I thought he was going to be.
Was better. I think if I had to go with my headline here, and this is something silly that I started on my podcast in years back, I wanted to say that New Orleans out-Seattled Seattle in Seattle, okay? That's what they did.
What does it mean to out-Seattle Seattle?
I mean, play defense, out-hit you, cause turnovers, win special teams, and that's what the Saints did. The Saints never really had to rely on Teddy Bridgewater.
Right.
They could really just say, let's manage the game, manage the clock, let's try to keep our defense off the field here and there, but when you return a kick for a touchdown, when you pick up a fumble, or they return a punt, when you pick up a fumble and return that for a touchdown, you give your team 14 points off of that. It allowed them to run the ball, play conservative, and Teddy never had to be asked to do anything.
He didn't make the big mistake.
He never made the big mistake, and that's what he's great at. And that's probably why Sean Payton started him in Seattle. Go, you know what? He doesn't lose games. That's the one thing we've seen. And I'll say it's debatable whether he wins games either, but he never has lost games. That's the great thing about Teddy Bridgewater. If you play defense and have a running game, he can keep you in a lot of football games and do the smart thing that a quarterback needs to do.
Do you think they can keep winning that way consistently, like be above 500 in the time that Drew is out?
It's a hard way to win. I don't know if you can consistently rely on that. I mean, they won by the skin of their teeth yesterday, and of course, had a number of things fall their way. Right. So, can they beat a Dallas team next week that way again? I would say no. But, again, I think Sean Payton will find a few ways here and there to make things a little bit more helpful, to Bridgewater start creative pass plays.
Right.
And maybe he'll start to put the Taysom. I guess he's afraid of Taysom Hill because he's his real backup now. So he goes, damn, if Teddy really does get hurt and I hurt Taysom Hill on he's going over the middle for a 10-yard completion, now I'm really screwed. So I think he has to be a little more careful with Taysom Hill now that he's a true backup instead of that third-string swing guy.
Right. And Teddy Bridgewater just a little bit over 6.5 yards per attempt. That's going to have to go up quite a bit if they're going to be in that game against Dallas.
But played it smart yesterday.
He did.
He did what he had to do.
Yep, and avoided the big problem. So that's a win there.
That's a win.
What's your headline, Carolina, Arizona?
Well, how do I want to say this? You don't have to be a franchise quarterback to win football games. If you just make some of the routine throws that are there, you can win football games. That's what I want to say, because that's the thing that's jumped out about the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers played good football the first 2 weeks. They started 0-2 because Cam Newton was off.
Right.
Now they had a guy that was on. And he took advantage of what was there to be had. And is it like always pretty and beautiful? Am I ready to anoint Kyle Allen the starting quarterback of the Carolina Panthers? Absolutely not.
Who'd you like better, though, Kyle? You like Kyle Allen or Teddy Bridgewater?
Ooh, well, I think Kyle Allen made more plays to make his team win the game.
He made more difficult throws.
He did. He made some more difficult throws. They needed him to make some of those plays to actually win the game, where, New Orleans never had to ask Teddy Bridgewater that. But I give Kyle Allen a lot of credit. I mean, this is one of the dicier backup quarterback situations I thought in football.
Right.
And he made some big-time plays yesterday, whether it was extending plays or some aggressive throws. But these are plays that were there to be had the first 2 weeks, and Cam Newton was so off of his game that, they didn't capitalize. And that's why they started 0-2. And he capitalized on some of those things. And now there's no pressure to we got to rush Cam Newton out there at 80% or 90%. Now they can go get healthy.
Right.
In fact, we're good. Let's see what this Kyle Allen train looks like going forward.
Thought he played with a confidence that he hadn't necessarily earned, and that's a compliment to him. Normally,
definitely.
To cut loose some of those throws like that, you have to be there a few times. So I give him a lot of credit as well.
Definitely.
Pittsburgh, San Francisco, another first-time starter, Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I mean, my headline would be, as far as pertaining to Mason Rudolph,
C.
2 throws. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't
bad,
but I don't look at it and go, Pittsburgh's found their guy for the future. Yeah. It's over. The quest is over, everyone.
Did you expect to see that right away?
No, but I think they expected to see it a little. I've seen enough from Mason Rudolph to know he's not the next guy no matter what.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
What's the biggest reason you say that?
I feel like he's stiff as an athlete. He's not a gifted thrower of the football by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, he's a below-average NFL arm. I looked at it overall. I mean, hey, that game was there on a silver platter for them to take control and win the game. It's always concerning when you cause 5 turnovers, you had that many short fields, and we only got 11 first downs and, what was it, 20-something points on the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was a game that the 49ers were trying their best to screw up and still ended up winning. And it's a sign of a good team and, of course, a sign of a bad team because of the way they gave it away, especially with the James Conner fumble after they were given a chance to kind of put it away.
It's similar to the way you described what the Saints did around Teddy Bridgewater.
Yes.
I never want to say they make it easy on a quarterback.
Right.
Because you know better than I do. I know a little bit. It's not easy for anybody.
No, it's never
However,
easy.
They played the kind of game around him where Bridgewater could be okay and they would win.
Right.
If Mason Rudolph plays that same way, they win that game because everybody else around him was pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. They just didn't capitalize early where they had turnovers, and you looked up at the scoreboard and you went, what? It's only 6-0? What? It's 6-3?
Mm-hmm.
What? They're losing 10-6? How is that possible?
Right.
I mean, every time you turn on, the 49ers move the ball, turnover. Same thing. I mean, they move the ball up and down the field. The 49ers are scary. That's what I'll say about that. Watch out for the 49ers. They're just another team that's kind of finding their way. And they're not playing their best football yet, and they're 2-0, and that's scary.
Quietly unbeaten. It's a pretty good place.
Yeah.
Good place to be. Ready for some more headlines?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to get back into the deep dive with the Buccaneers and Giants here momentarily.
Okay.
That'll be a good one as well.
Right.
Headline of Rams-Browns last night.
The Browns have no identity. That's where I want to say. I said this early this morning on Pro Football Talk, and actually when I got done, I know Odell Beckham Jr. came out and said this as well. But I'm a believer in identity. Okay. First off, I don't want to take away credit from the Rams. The Rams are really battle-tested, tough, don't lose games, do so many things the right way to win those type of football games. But Cleveland, not battle-tested. But the biggest thing to me is just the offense in general. Again, what are we trying to do, really? I just don't know what the Browns are.
What would you like for the identity to be?
To me, it's one of two things. It's either two tight ends on the field, let's play smash-mouth football and start to make teams put extra people in the box, and then when we get one-on-one outside, we're going to hit Odell and Jarvis Landry and do that. It's either that or it's take a page from the Houston Texans and every play is designed for Odell Beckham Jr., and we're going to make you stop him. And then when you do, then you'll start to see Will Fuller and all these other guys catch the ball. Mm-hmm. But It's got to me, those would be the two things you can hang your hat on that can work on a week-to-week basis that will get defenses to get out of their comfort zone to go, ooh, we have to stop this if we want to beat them. And then you can build off of that.
Which of those two identities do you think suits Baker Mayfield best?
I think the Odell Beckham Jr. thing suits Odell Beckham Jr. thing suits Baker best. I don't think it suits the team best, okay? I think they're best off to run the football.
Even with an offensive line that's been...
Yeah, well, but again, last night, running the ball wasn't as big as an issue. It was the pass protection. You know, it's not a bad run-blocking offensive line. This is something that's jumped out to me since the preseason. What their issue was last night, and the theme of the game, and Collinsworth hit on this a little, but more than anything that just jumped out to me is, I mean, the Rams don't have to blitz. Their front four can get there all game long.
It's the luxury every coordinator
Number 99 and 56 can whoop anybody's ass in football one-on-one. And Fowler and Donald, let alone, we're not a great pass-protecting O-line with guys like Greg Robinson and, our right guard Cush and things like that. They were outmatched. So then, therefore, they couldn't call some of the pass plays they wanted. I mean, how many times did Collinsworth mention? Look at all these passes, how quick he's getting out of his hands. Yeah, they didn't want to call those plays. They had to.
Yeah.
They had no other choice, or it was going to be strip sack fumble, or Baker getting hit and the ball flying in the air and somebody intercepting it. So I think the best thing that gives them a chance is to run the football, play a little more smash mouth. It might not be as sexy, but their defense, as you see, is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense is good. It's played good all 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do it all. They got a little of everything on that side of the ball. Offensively is where they just got to find what it is they want to be awesome at and then build off of that.
A lot of compliments about the Rams have been woven in here throughout the last 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You said you think Dallas and LA are the best teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
Which one's better right now? It's early, only 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Who's won?
I would give Dallas the edge, but just by a little. Just by a little.
1 to 1A, maybe.
Yeah, 1 to 1A.
Okay, we'll go there.
I got such respect for the Rams and Sean McVay and the way he coaches his team and Wade Phil. I mean, again, they sat back there because of the front four that we just talked about, and you're sitting there watching, they're getting around Baker Mayfield every time he holds the ball. They never had to play man-to-man last night. I'll be interested when I watch the film. I don't think they ever had to play man. They played zone the whole night. Every time I looked up, Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters were 9, 10 yards off the ball, looking at the receiver, looking at the quarterback, knew that they didn't have to get in the face. So, hey, our front four's got the run game. Don't worry, I'm not worried about it. Yeah. We don't need to stop them. I got linebackers underneath that'll stop all the short passes. And, that's they're a talented team and well coached at that, too.
Thinking about another team that hasn't lost yet in the
Yeah.
NFC. It's kind of a roundabout way of getting to the Lions.
Yeah.
And the Eagles. Headline there.
You never wake up a sleeping lion. Roared.
That's a new voice.
Am impressed by the Lions, okay? I guess I feel like a jerk because I'm looking at this through the eyes of the losing team more. But when I just look at the Eagles right now, I go, man, can't rush the passer and can't cover people. Not a good combo.
Which one of those two things is the bigger surprise?
I think the not ability to rush the passer is probably more shocking to me. Don't think Fletcher Cox is totally himself.
That's a good D line.
You're
just talking about the Rams being able to get there with
no
4.
doubt, and the Eagles have been able to get there for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
when they're healthy, they can. But I don't think Fletcher Cox is himself. He's not as dominant as he's been. Brandon Graham has not popped off the edge. Barrett has not popped off the edge. They lose Malik Jackson to injury. So Schwartz is in a bind, because he wants to get some pressure at the quarterback, but he's leaving his corners who are just not great cover man-to-man type corners, like lockdown kind of guys. He's leaving them in some vulnerable spots, and they've gotten toasted because of it.
Jets-Patriots headline.
What'd you expect?
Right?
I mean, come on.
I want to see the Patriots break a sweat. My gosh.
It's unreal.
You ever seen a 3-0 that looked so easy? They almost looked bored.
No, I think they were bored yesterday. Once they got up 30-0, I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of people out there that had action on the game who were like, come on, wake up. Right? You got to cover that 22.5-point spread. You're getting scary here. And then still would have covered it.
Yeah.
Sleeping through the second half, but Jarrett Stidham throws the pick 6, and now Tom's got to put his helmet on. But they've been fortunate to play 3 dysfunctional teams.
Yeah.
One in which we didn't expect the Steelers to be dysfunctional to start the year. But they capitalize on it, and they lower their level, but not to like the level of like where we're concerned. Like they lower the level and they only go up 30-0 instead of 50-0.
I think they're ready, and we're all ready to have them run this sprint and have somebody running next to them as they're running down the track. I mean, it would be fun to see them.
Have to play a game for 4
game.
quarters. Yeah, and I mean that's coming. Well, let's just see real quick. Who do they got coming up this week?
3-0 Bills.
They got the 3-0 Bills. The 3-0 Bills
at Buffalo
in the Dildo Bowl. Okay, they will get their money's worth in this game. I will say that. I would be shocked if they blew the Bills out of the water. All right. The dildo game.
Anything would be a non sequitur at this point.
No, nothing you can do after the dildo talk.
No. Jets Patriots headline. We hit that. We advanced all the way to the Bills game next week. How about this? How about thinking of 3 touchdown spread games?
Yeah.
Dolphins Cowboys.
Dolphins Cowboys. The like holy run game dominance is what I want to talk about with the Cowboys. The Cowboys kind of slept walk.
Yep, same.
They were like the Patriots, except like vice versa. Kind of slept walk early.
Yeah.
We're like, I feel like they kind of played, just they were a little loose. Dak Prescott was a little overly aggressive. Even on TV, I thought there was a few times where I was like, damn, the 10-yard completion was there, but he threw it, he wanted the 40-yarder.
Yeah.
There's just a little like over greediness early on in the game. But once they settled in, good teams make good plays. Teams like the Dolphins find ways to the game up, and they did that with fumbling or dropping balls in the back of the end zone, whatever it may be. But Cowboys are clearly in the conversation for one of the best teams in the NFL.
Raiders Vikings.
I mean, Zimmer ball is my headline. Zimmer ball. This is like we talked about with Green Bay early. I'm excited about what I'm seeing in Minnesota.
Offense or defense got you
both,
that way.
But the offense has got me feeling good.
Yeah.
And I know that like people are going to be like, what? Kirk Cousins he's throwing for 170 yards. Good. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with that? Why do we have to see the quarterback throw for 400 yards to go, ooh, the offense is good?
With an O-line and running back like that?
Yes.
Right?
Play to the strengths of your team. The strength of their team is not their drop back pass game. Most people can't name their third receiver on that team.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And Irv Smith, he showed himself yesterday at the tight end position. Maybe he's now the next third option on that offense. But their defense is legit. We know that. They're staying patient with the run game, and they have arguably the most explosive running back in football. And they're not going to stop getting him touches.
Right.
I love that. And then you got a guy like Madison coming off the bench who's a starting running back for like 24 teams in football.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that explosive too. So they're doing that, and then
you talk about identity that you're looking for with Cleveland.
Thank you.
3 weeks, this team has an identity.
They have an identity.
Yeah.
Right.
We're back in week 1 when Cousins completed 8 passes for less than 100. Oh, it's an aberration.
Oh, it's an aberration. No.
I don't know.
This is what they want.
Yeah.
They want Cousins to be like somewhere between 15 and 25 passes.
They would love it.
That's their wheelhouse because that means they're running the ball, they're playing defense, and when they do drop back to pass, they're going to be more dangerous than they were last year. Yeah, he's not going to get 31 touchdowns and 10 interceptions like he did last year and 4,000 yards. No. But when he does strike, it's going to be, oh, damn, they're stealing on a deep post, first drive, double move, touchdown. Why was that? Oh, it's because they had to worry about Dalvin Cook, so they went, oh, let's put an extra guy in the box, and now we're playing man-to-man outside against Thielen and Diggs, and he hit him. I think they're a more dangerous team going forward with their formula they have.
And with that formula, then here comes the Gary Kubiak staple. Let's run the fake reach 5 yards out here. Let's boot 10 yards this way and throw a drag 40 yards across the other side of the field. I mean, that was 10 years ago what the Texans were doing.
Yes, you're right.
That showed up a couple times yesterday.
It showed up. It is. Yeah, they're going to do some of that stuff for sure. But they're not going to reinvent the wheel on the offensive side of the ball, and they're not going to let the offense lose them games, which they did last year. Not Kirk Cousins. He did not lose them games last year. The offense led them. They couldn't protect the passer. They sucked at running the football. They were in the NFC Championship game, and they were the 6th rushing team in football. They didn't make the playoffs last year, and I believe they were the 28th rushing team in football, maybe lower than that. So don't always blame Kirk Cousins. They're doing the thing that's right by what they have on their team.
We touched on the Bills a little bit already. Bengals, Bills, Buffalo, unbeaten.
I mean, the Bills are like can't miss football right now. They're like the most exciting, dysfunctional, all over the place team going.
What's your favorite part of that team?
Josh Allen. I mean, I of course love the defense. I'm a huge Sean McDermott fan. But Josh Allen, they're never out of a game or in a tough situation because of him. Now, he can put them in some tough situations, too.
Yeah, right.
The game is, 14-0? They're completely controlling the football game, and he throws truly one of the most stupid interceptions we've seen this year.
Yeah.
Running backwards and tries to throw the ball 25 yards over the middle.
Tropic Thunder.
Right, full Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Full Tropic Thunder, and you never go full Tropic Thunder. And that jump-started the Bengals to where it got them going. Okay, gave them the short field. They got a touchdown, and all of a sudden you're in a competitive football game. But their defense is real, and Josh Allen is a playmaker, and it makes them dangerous. He's got to eliminate the one or two bonehead things he does every game.
Playmakers too. It's right. It's too general for his brand of playmaking. So get beyond playmaking. Someone who'd never seen him play before, and you couldn't use the term playmaker. Someone wanted to say, "Who's this Josh Allen guy? How does he play?"
Well,
what would you say?
I would go, how does he play? He's like a raw, budding superstar in this league right now. Like it's a little reckless. It's a little crazy. It's like Brett Favre early days in Green Bay where you go like, I got to see this throw. This is unbelievable. And then 3 throws later you go, I got to see this throw. That was so f***ing stupid. I can't even believe he did it. But it still looked cool, right? And I'm watching because he's a little that way. And then, of course, they don't get away from the run game either. But I do think just with him, man, Dawson Knox at tight end, showing some like breakability at the tight end position, and the way they play defense, they're going to be a pain in the butt all year. They're going to be in this playoff conversation.
And so Allen is going to be that same guy. I mean, a standard deviation or two better than what he is. Maybe not as many poor decisions.
Right.
Is the defense good enough to get this team to 10, 11 wins this year with Josh being at that point in his development?
I do think it's good enough. I think. I just think with the personnel they have being good at all 4 levels, the way they're coached, splash a man-to-man, but you always hear me say, game plan specific zone coverage, that's kind of nuanced for the team they're playing on a week-to-week basis. Mm-hmm. They're big up front on the offensive line.
Yeah.
They are going to run the ball, and he puts you in a bind with his skill set. Because his ability to not only run, scramble, design quarterback runs, with his skill set, he makes you defend the whole field as a defense. And then we talk about that with all the great offenses. Yeah, they might not be doing it as like the machine the way the Patriots and the Chiefs are yet. Right. But because of him, there's not a square inch of that field that you have to say, oh, we don't have to worry about it over there because they don't attack it. No, they do because of his running ability and a big arm.
On Wednesdays, we've normally been spending more time with deep dives about what happened the previous week. But let's put some time into thinking about maybe doing like a deep dive preview. Patriots-Bills.
Sure. I'm down for that.
Get up on the board a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Mental note.
Cool.
Final headline, Texans-Chargers.
Deshaun Watson.
They needed that.
Is so awesome. He's amazing. I mean, he really is. He was the difference of the football game in general. I mean, I think there's a few things here. Chargers getting off to the big lead. Why? One, because Deshaun Watson threw a backwards pass where I think he thought he was throwing to like he thought he threw the ball legally. We were like, no, that's a lateral. Yes, we saw the running back you were throwing it to. Did you see him do it?
Sure.
He's like pointing it like he was right there, but I want to be like, no, it's a lateral. Doesn't matter if he's right there.
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, you're going the wrong way. But that got them in the hole early on. Chargers having chances to really put a team in a stranglehold for the second week in a row and not capitalizing. They're up 17-7 at the half. They get the ball to start the half. They do nothing with it. They punt the ball. Texans go right down, score, right? Okay, so now you're at a 17-14 game. Chargers go down. They're driving. He fumbles, Rivers, right? Mm-hmm. So now they lose the ball. And, of course, Deshaun Watson answers back again. And all of a sudden, we were up 17-7 in control of the game, and we're down 21-17.
Chargers have three or four of these games every year.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And it just shows you, you win week 1, and then you lose a game you should have won in week 2 against the Lions. And then, a team that's dangerous like the Texans who can make some big plays, they come into town, and all of a sudden you're 1-2 going, damn, we were an inch away from being 2-0, and we fumbled on the goal line of Detroit or had a penalty or whatever it is, and now we're sitting here going 1-2. But I really think Deshaun Watson's just physical, his specialness as a player was the reason they win that game yesterday. I mean, some of those throws, the seam throws for the touchdown, the scramble down the middle, he's going to tuck the ball away, and as he's tucking it away, he sees that everybody's running at him, and he gets it back in the throwing position and throws it to Aiken over the middle, who runs for the long touchdown. I mean, I just look at Deshaun Watson some games and just go, man, it's really special. Another guy, he gets lost in the shuffle because of Patrick Mahomes, I think.
Yeah.
Where we just go, man, that's the sexiest guy we see every Sunday, number 15 in red. And I want to go, damn, number 15 in red is sexy, but let's not forget number 4 in red and blue because he's damn sexy too. And he's just a baller, and some of the throws he makes are just truly phenomenal.